akwa babiem braso say pensenpensenmu ebeto aso ede amount. But kaka say between commodity afa the NDC manifesto launch. So this time maybe about share the agri sector. How the NDC in the next 4 years omnya kwenya na ombeso mboa epija Ghana agri sector no. Peni otialum no obi a onsuro media da. It's member of answer beside the question. Memko amenye question no. About the agri sector. The NDC vision for your agri sector. NSA. Kwame no betimi afaso anema omo itemize wo omo manifesto no. Kwame no betimi abam in the next 4 years. What are the timelines for our vision? Eye doable. Ye be ye. Ye betimi within 4 years na ye kan ho asem na na. If I say come coa mixture, Mr. What up papa and maybe to me a boost immune system na a coa plus mixture. And a boost immune system. I can't say immune system no. Say I know yambra na ya de be an pedwen mu a etimi so enkuni but unya coa plus mixture ni bi and what him say yes one ed papa pam. Your coa empty mixture and so for malaria. Eti wo in 3D e ha wa hospital doctor Ajia to say malaria na e ha nkwa dia en madrobia num coa empty mixture. Pebito Ghana baby a tondo biano okwa onsabeka bi ato etufo enfre 0244 726611 0244 726611 and 0591 565 778 0591 565 778 me so da oba pefo ba o ma akwada no fo ne onya enum fenhia edum ye no onnum sa edro webi Kaise FD4 Aji Atum. Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor, a spokesperson, the NDC manifesto on the agri sector. On another permanent babatry and communicate live on Facebook Adom TV, live on YouTube Adom TV. Sounds a bit me here Adom TV Extra. As we live, as we reading in Nana, you could share in an audio from near the top podcast. So, search for Adom TV on podcast. We need so. Or meeting the akwesi inside Dr. Boko there.
Boko akwesi.
You watch it.
Papa. So you near. Obi best opposition man no get brother. Is that all? Ba we hear me there.
Oko hefa.
O hear me there.
Oko hefa.
Me so hear me there.
Doctor.
O hear me anka so obi hu baby am ko e. Me nko baby a me wa. I have been around. When I hear me now.
And boys you crack some from ground.
Oh yeah, propaganda. Propaganda.
So Dr. Frem Kakra on Saturday the manifesto launch. E ko say the mam.
Yo, say ni di kai yes ni da e be wi ani pichi. Na anano memneda. Na NDC. Yen krata yen friend manifesto ai apama yen Ghana for ebenya ne 7 December abato no na yede etudwa ewo Winneba Abontenso University of Education Winneba na memene da na se wani ensa okache manifesto na nkasa na ye be launch no ankasa no manifesto launch ne start ifiada ansa na ekozi memene da because Kroma move one central region for atwe homomomea ye wudede nam kromo ye work ne niema ansakra ansana memne danidu na memne dane die esewani eso kachre ma memfa sa kwenya we so as the chairman for the planning committee memfanda Winneba Mpensenpensenmu ayemfo party Mpensenpensenmu ye parliamentary candidate Central Region Executives Professor Seydou Dano yendo masi ye pa wo mo bo moden eso ya simu ye na yedwumadie ni nyina so ekọ toten mpanifo awodo ene beka ye ho ma yedi sa adwuma no in fact diplomatic call ne crapo de number mo ba ye no na nwanwa kakra they showed interest to participate in your US embassy, UK embassy, Togo embassy, Nigeria. Bibri our more ebetayechi. Civil society organizations bibri TUC ebaye. Ghana National Association of Fishermen and Farmers and also by enough. Yeah. And several of them, I mean, just on and on and on. We had about 60 civil society organizations participating. Okay. I can't mention all of them on top of my head, but my program no so
okay. How difficult was it putting up the manifesto together, looking at more 2012 manifesto? Yeah, I hope so maybe more to me and more 2016 year, more 2020, and I'm also say another one for 2024. Kwame na mfa so make cancer manifestos for we ebomu vis-a-vis a man for adventure mosaje.
Yo, near the kind your manifesto we one of the most well-researched and well-consulted, extensively consulted manifestos. The same thing is after a year People's Manifesto 2020 no. Team year manifesto no. I mean you recall that it was adjudged one of the best manifestos in that election. Team year manifesto ni we na President Mahama says that team no. Ad hoc committee there ba me ngunu ya munko so nya adwuma. It is a team no ma ya adwuma for 4 years. So from 2021 this team has been working, engaging various organizations, religious groups, civil society organizations, various technical experts, just to discuss and find a way to fix Ghana problem. It you know, some manifesto ya betudwai. Juma ya in 9. Okay. It you know, Osha cover every single aspect of the Ghanaian human life. You believe it say some manifesto way you know would be the solution to the problems we are having in this country, the level of deterioration. The way any matter tia pansam bibia agensem abenedi amanfo die ya odi amanfo die nyina ye gidi say some manifesto yi ele ba be yi o mafiri mo.
Okay. So my ho adwuma yi say in the next 4 years enemo a ma promise no obetimi implement ni nyina.
Hwe ni sa manifesto no ma ya promise say e be ni mfie nan ya ntimi nye. Eje say bia ye ne promise a mfie nan untimi nya nwie. Ebi wo no ma be sha ase. Aha, wo sha ase a eno no wo ye after mfie nan aban a oba beje tumi na free won sem no so beto aso. Aha, but ne ese ye mfie nan bia no yebetimi aye mfie nan. Obehwe kra ye manifesto ne ye launch wie no. President Mahama Nkasa asa the 120 days promise account. As our 120 days promise, you know, within first 120 days, you know, Sadia money in IAZ about 26 promises for 120 days. And we believe that we'll be able to do all that in the 120 days. Into how much more than 4 years. Okay. Most part of the manifesto, the two minimum say Osaka or copy, but very soon Osaka or copy so you would realize say most of the promises in there are promises are we share the current exigencies now. We do one more immediately in first year. You would be able to get the results before you leave power in 4 years. That's what you say. If
you are to one more like 2025 by at least 2028. Also nya results.
Also nya results. If you also out to one more even 2025 unya results. I just say 2029.
Now tell Kasama for on this manifesto about agriculture. So after boy within the 4 years. And never been the word the agri sector within the 4 years.
Okay, so ma mention as the kind. Ghana ye kua yonsem ne ama ene ye di abene ewo kua yonsem ho eye niema mienu pe akade a ye de ye kua okay ene asase e be ye kua wo so nyankopon cha de wa maye asase no emu akade emu emwawa ene ekwan a yanwe no eboa ekuayo nanso so no yekuafo no akade a wo mode beka ho ade ayekua no se de be ya amfasodie beba so ena wo munya enti ye frɛ no input no one yenya ni ebetimi aboa quality input yenya so ane boden enti kuani no se season ni du na ezo odo a ekwan a obefa so ado ama watimi enya so mfaso eye problem enti no ye policy a yede ban ye frɛ no agriculture for economic transformation agenda. That's the overriding policy. Na sa policy nani swadi hunu ne say ebetimi provide access to quality inputs. You can access to quality inputs say ope condemn, ope weedicide, ope pesticide, ope fertilizer. Ekwan ya obetimi anya fertilizer with the dua de a productivity bekosoro. Eno ye ne di kan. Ena ekwan ya wunya sa fertilizer no unya weedicide na ebeyefo. Ena fertilizer ne bo eda base almost 500 Ghana cedi per bag 50 kilo. First no ye free abem na ye be say in fact near the money free po. Near money free. Omo ye commercial farmers omo koto no na omo tono be 70 Ghana cedis. Okay. Ene 500 Ghana. Eti wanya quality fertilizer ne kra no ebo no pam no enti wontimi nto fertilizer no no de aye adwuma. Now wontimi nto fertilizer ne fanya adwuma ne chese sa afe no wontimi ndua na ade ana se oye 10 acres kra afe no obeye 5 acres. Eti no your policy ne say yenhwe kwan a ye betimi provide inputs no at a low cost, but how do you do that? Most of the inputs no are imported from Manone. You have to look at means where you can produce the input here in Ghana.
You can fertilizer.
Fertilizer and you can. And you fertilizer and
okay.
Agrochemicals in your account.
Okay.
Ghana, we have the biggest potential to produce all the agrochemicals in Ghana, other than our friends in the sub-region. Your petrol. Petrol now you to know a home waste any ideas are agrochemicals way. See a cast your best set agrochemical manufacturing industry we have a very huge potential.
Possible.
Very possible. So we are looking at the situation where you bet me produces animal waha. Okay. Fertilizer ni bi waha. You bet me produce agrochemicals ni bi waha. Said the be ya ne no e bet me akofom. So obe kaya ebra ye wa be mu ye start your compost plant no. Ye ni zoom lion. I don't know what has happened to the compost plant right now. But say it me produce compost. Now compost no enough on the market. It solves the problem of fertilizer for the farmers. And you know, they have compost, they have fertilizer, they have agrochemicals at low cost. It means that then they can produce more.
Okay, wait if so sa factory no. Ebeye aban na ebetini sika de set up. Ankrankra bi na ebe na aban den ho akokobata no. Ana aban ba ma subsidies bi na ankrankra bi abeputu ne up.
Yo, ene mamienu. O hwe under the Feed the Ghana project. Okay. Ye ni so ade hunu ne se ye betwe ankrankra. Okay. Amomu de musika abehye. We nya ade aban de ni sika hyemu ye. Ene miremu no aban mfa ni sika hyemu enye sa ne mai. Say aban be ya ye obi be a friend stimulus arrangement. Okay. Yeah manifesto in komo bebre akoso. Say ye monetary sector ne kra no Bank of Ghana. Sika wo mutwa edema aban no. Say wo mutwa say sika no na nka say sika no wo mu capitalize no. No more the private sector. Na private sector invest in these specialized sectors. To say ebia agrochemical production enema ebetimi aboa. Sa nkomodie ni nyina wo ho. But our main focus is to leverage on PPP to get this industry going. But even beyond that, as ye hwe kwan a ye betimi ama even ye yede eba o man no mu ne kra no ebo ne be kofom. It will share manifesto no ma president Mahama promise here. Say ye ba be mo in the first 120 days taxes are ewo agro input so Enti no se okofa agrochemicals aba, okofa agro equipments aba, import duty e wo so nyina ye be ye free hono. Yes, scrap sa import duty no said be ya price na would be free amanoni aba no sa price no be from because ye amanoni other countries omo perform better than us in terms of agro production and they say inputs no cheaper.
Okay, you better hold me about the fact is the price of these agrochemical inputs in ecoso. Now with the factory private sector na obabesino munchishi muno ebre say ne be taking amana put up that factory.
Oh, and no say private sector na no obabesi ne factory no e no de untimi nyesa determination e ma no policy and they say you create the environment to get them in. Yeah. But as to how many months, how many years or the base in the factory, there's I just say I buy
policy no. It has been tied to a timeline. Okay. Ghana for them say ma jomama in Finchianai. Yate say jomama say ye ba ye benya fertilizer factory. Me ye kuyani e brebe na menhwe no say fertilizer factory be ready. O mesha say your production. Say na be ya me niema na me pa de bobo form. Me sabetimi aka. Na me so betimi dia ye me calculation one. Say me kwa kwaji me loan. Me nim say the next 2 years na be see factory no. Say me kwa kwaji loan bia. Medwin bia the next best 3 years.
Agwezi enti na me sha ase say.
Okay.
Eno ye kwan ya ultimately ye de bete input no so. But answer na ye be ye no because eno no nya ne.
Okay.
Ese o hwe ne de no.
Okay.
Say de be ya 2025 crop season no. Kuyani ni betimi adua na hotom.
Okay.
Eti no wo hwe kwan say wo be ye fatia me ya fertilizer ne agrochemicals condemn ni sa ne mani nyina wa ha. Say de be ye fo. Na say create adwuma ama Ghana fo.
Okay.
Na so asa na wo be duru ho no. Because eno no hwe private partner bi na ne na ye. Obema no environment bi obetimi dia ye na adwuma. Ba asa na wo be duru ho no. Wo mu a wo mu kofa free amano ne ba no. Yi duty na eda so no ene we import agrochemicals duty e was so enya de keto
yes sir.
I say it depending on the value duty in fact almost 23 items and eda duty this one be charge 23 items VAT wom wo ka ni nyina bo ma sika amanfo tua e wo agrochemicals so enya de keto enti no no de ba won timi nkofa agrochemicals ne meton boka
emu de na mo beyi
eti no ese ye sa agrochemicals import duty na da so nyina free ho we free wa so we have made a pledge say import duty be da agrochemicals agro mechanization so e be ye free ho no say de be ye be ma na ye fo ama mikuani no me matimi ato me agrochemicals no etimi adua me no ba ye no na matimi adododo na me dododo a matimi anya dododo na minya dodo nso a meton a menton na aboden enso metimi anya profit.
Doctor, only maybe your hand be a for aban mu a ode bua business is saying. Na aban so oba be sa taxes we nyina de free under jomama. Ye yi a mo ne won na ekofa de ba eton no. Mo no betena se ne ahye price no. Se na be ya price man corporate because ye huru bi pensi e koko yi benchmark value e free wo. Now the next complaint is free. You phone and say, oh, transportation costro, fuel costro. It's yet transporting the man quite free. Temahabo, Ediako commerce crime because of the cost. Nintendo, yes, I didn't know. You have a Cosico Ojina Quentia. Nina factor.
So it's saying that here.
Okay.
CCR baby, we are saying, don't to mean your price controls.
Okay.
Won't to mean Casa at the end of only say, it's you let the market demand, the market decide. Okay. And so this is what will happen. Say ye import duty free ho na kofa ba ye nim say naturally if the market is operating fairly it means say o price now wo dey ba no o cost of doing business would have come down.
Okay. And
so naturally the price will come down. Now say price ne ba down wa kan hu say enye nipakuo ba ko e na kofa agrochemicals ne ba wo more competition. It no say ye free ho no mo a now after they will compete on prices because me the media aba me ton media 70 cedis and now say me ton 50 cedis won so do the aba wo ton wo the 65 obi the media aba o ton 80 mu nyina mo adua import duty Oje said one day any beto.
Yene bo for.
Yene dia ofo. Eti no be for so ama wo na turn the 80 no. Wo so be ba for. Because the point is that we want person maintaining some level of profitability.
Okay.
And that level of profitability, you don't want to go out of business. Eti will be a friend normal profit.
Okay.
Normal profit will just keep you in business. You are making the profit and you run.
Yeah.
Eti every business at least must sustain normal profit.
Okay.
Eti is a price no be from amana be do 50. Now what me anya normal profit, every businessman will go for.
Now
that.
fertilizer around 500 Ghana cedis. On an average, say Jomama take over. Ghana kwa for hwe nim say fertilizer boy ba from abedu say wet ne muye.
Oh. Eno de ubusa misisi a mentimi nkyerɛ wo. And ni a model bia betimi de ahye mu say the policy ne ba wa bedu say. But what I can assure you is say fertilizer boy betimi ayefo. Ke hu say ebra na president Mahama wa abemu. Time aye free abemu na ye cash fertilizer na 50 Ghana cedi, 60 Ghana cedi na asefo no. Na a stay sa price no for almost about 5 years.
Okay.
Na da hono mo na enkoye. There is something about prices. I friend price stability.
Yeah.
So we maintain the enema cost affect price now. Your friend the determinants of the price. We maintaining the year. It moves the price in it for a very long time.
Okay.
And so it's not even about reducing the price from 500. So price no 500 near to 2 years now 500 for a very long time. Ebetimi abu farmer no because the price has been stabilized.
Okay.
It only say water fertilizer bottle back 500 Ghana fee next year 500 Ghana next year 500 Ghana. Eba ne sa utimi plan. And then also no say price in year stable it means say ebe affect price stability of food.
Okay.
It affect price stability of food. Ebe affect the stability of household income. It's say at that point, inflation will not become the head because inflation, inflation. Yeah. You understand? And so when you solve that stability, you have solved the problem. But what the young policy, in a more bigger perspective. Okay. So feeding the Ghana policy, yes, ye taxes are free, ye import duty are free, agro input. So
yeah,
a crime bay na ubetimi amakuani no motivation amanetimi producer do Ghana ye problem baako asase so ubenya asase na wado wo fadia wo fana ewu agya onua pese woton wante so pani die wom etubozi echicha na wanya wandeka nso die wodi agro Ghana ha no farmers ne dodo na ye smallholder farmers.
Yeah.
Smallholder farmers or cultivate, let's say maybe 5 acres of land. So 5 acres of land, and there are no bit media. But so 5 acres of land, no, what buano, na inputs no, ever form. Now when you have 5 acres of land, no bit media, baby. But near when you have 5 acres of land as well. Conform be one person we acquire your munya assassin. Okay. It's President Mahama said, Ghana, ya assassin in a acquire assassin. Then you know, ye o hwefri akra e kosi boga anapaga wonam kwane so abon se yi stores hotel stores filling station baby a wo be pound na wonya sa ne ma no bon se asase ne da wotra sa ye mfa nye kuayo ye se ye pese ye de ne ye friend no farm bank program sa farm bank program no ye begin sa ase ebi wo Ghana hanom asase no wo ye babunu ana wo obi a opese wo ye kuayo wokọ Ministry of Agriculture ne ya allocate asase na ma unya so beto eti no se wo hwe 1 kilometer away from the main high street from Accra to Boga na ye ji wo nyina ne ye de ukọ amanonia
aban edge asase no
ukọ amanonia
okay
tise Nevada omoye ekuayo pa
yeah
ubetimi ubetimi atukwan ubetimi adrive wo kwan so be 6 hours na hu fie ni omoye ne se ekwan no hu nyina no wo mu edua no bae na niema mienu nti no modua sa no bae no unse cars na etwam no emissions na emite no your friend carbon monoxide sa carbon monoxide ne so no idea harmful to human health. And also they say ozone layer no.
Yeah.
But ahaban enetimi twe sa carbon dioxide no.
Yeah.
Na what the adane aduane ama wadi. What you say use carbon dioxide na the aye aduane no. Eti no cars na etwa mu ni nyina no. Carbon dioxide they release no. Se wadua no baye no wo kwan no ho a wo mo twe sa carbon dioxide no.
But doctor,
na omodi aye aduane.
Who say
eti no
ye challenge kakra o ye memu ye say ye land administration no enti say near America ne other countries netie. It looks as if the Aisha ma ye memu ensas no akodi abusua entem. E say abai air pass as a project of this nature. This will share abusua be se du ana edu motwe. Eti no be na abai be for so abai gisa asase we nyina de efre abusua ko enchen. No dia mama for person ye kua.
Say what is a petroleum hub be a buying person mo your market asase. So what you do is that you pay compensation to the families.
Okay.
And so our intention is to look for all that lands available, the arable lands available,
okay,
both beside the main highways, okay, and also off the main highways are arable, and we pay compensation. Then we create those lands as a bank. For only agro purposes.
Within the 4 years.
Within the 4 years. And this is what we want to do. And within that period, we are going to create agro zones,
okay,
agro development zones. Baby, ya to us ye farm bank no. Na ye kuya no. Ye share no buy ye do no mo be ye. Na ye yama private sector no opportunity to set up industry for agro processing. Et you know, any enclave bia bia no. You be create that agro industrial development zone around that area. Said you be obia sa no buy and say tomato so mudua there is a place to aggregate,
okay,
so that the processing can be done. Because problem kese ba ko Ghana so they say no buy no you do we ni twa raw na yes you ko export and also value be anim. So I just here and every day I've been saying say Ghana your problem bako and so your food, because your food you matching really to our agro production. It's a deeper Ghana and produce what produce. So if we are able to do that and we are able to add the industrialization, it means you be produce no and as you be produce do na but you be processing.
Okay.
In mind say Ghana Nibia would Indomie because it's convenient.
Yeah.
What you say? Yeah. Because Oshie so good so 3 minutes now you're ready. But Indomie no, yeah way. Yeah, Indomie no, yeah way. You understand? It's yeah men Kenya yeah wa hey. A kwine ben ye be fast we be processing men Kenya ma men Kenya no. O pese obo ampesi be easy se obo ampesi. Because you no more obese inconvenience man. So ye hwe ba bia ye dua menken.
Okay.
Na the agro industry betimi processing menken. On the way omo french fries ye man pepper.
Yeah.
Be ko no na wo mo so no mo ne ya freeze. Uhwie ya na de agu anwa mu no ache na o chia.
But me both say ensase ya ye pese ya gidi yes akua no. Ye wo estimate of the acres of ensase a ye hwe so within the next 4 years no. Say Boamah ba power ye betimi anya sansase we na ye de aye sa adwuma ye pese ye de for the agri sector.
Yo. Say wo hwe ye implementation plan one. In fact, let me indicate that this will be the first time I hear a manifesto with an implementation plan.
Okay.
But the implementation plan would, based on the assessment we do, that's when we'll be able to know that. Now we don't know the exact amount that we can take.
That's land.
We don't know the exact amount, but we will know with the implementation plan. And then also depending on the engagement with the traditional authorities, who will be willing to offer it. Because we need a first takeover. But what you say, first takeover. So what it means is that you have to negotiate your way out in kakra. But the most important thing is that you are able to acquire some land for those agro zones. And I also mapping as well. Your areas be a no buy out be our home. It's in creation of the agro zones will not be dependent on the amount of land that we are able to secure. And so we can create the agro zones and provide all the incentives for the businesses to set up there without doing that. Then we can also, as part of your program, also look at farmers are okay. Ebia about 10,000 acres of land. Will produce cashew.
Yeah.
Area where you know cashew near no to say bono the way and bono ahafo and a bono east or you know cashew zone.
Yeah.
Now yatimia incentivize those farmers to produce more, to expand capacity, to feed the industry in the agro zone, just so we can create jobs. But
Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor, you were the data of farmers in Ghana. What was our data?
I just say Busa Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Oh, how?
There is no agro census in this country. We have no. In fact, the last 2 years, we tried some agro census. The data is not out. Nobody knows the number of farmers. In fact, that is one of the biggest problems. And every day I've been raising this issue with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Okay.
Say you can't have a system in Ghana where you don't have adequate data on smallholder farmers. A commercial farmers in the country. They don't have.
So into
food, planting for food and jobs.
Yeah.
Our challenge here and say identifying the real farmers or more farmers or me benefit from the program is the challenge. It's here for party for yeah the inputs na more.
Okay.
Almost so no money for
it comes back to most more promises are more back for the agri sector. Now as someone see any data of farmers kwamba na mefa so amode sa promises see ebe ye adwuma ebrebe na moba obetimi put together this data na ehun say ye wo farmers do a say enedua mo say enedua bayire say enedua bode say enedua mankede ebrebe na mba betimi anya sa data nyina masa policies ya mo for agri sector no etimi take it off
enyemre na ubenya sa data no ne hia woni mi say wo ye dan ya obidua mo wo ye dan ya obidua ntos wo ye dan ya obidua bro ana ameboa very good. So what you do ne say ohwe zone no na smallholder farmers e wo ho no mo omudua eburo funko an e wo ho no ma all you need to do is to use your district agri department to reach out to those people so that you can let your project your program target them. You understand? No, but
party for.
And I can so there is you have to do the census all right.
Okay.
You have to identify them. But in the immediate term, what's immediately?
Yeah.
So in the immediate term, you can't do that. But it is part of our program to have an agri census any no buy or modo so that we can categorize.
So see, the man by a challenge kakra say now. Me so bet me actually how much government will be able to commit into such a project or person because we need the data of farmers. Nipa farmers do say na be more. Sika say me here na me akoko fasa input with me atete nema so e de amaobo. It becomes a challenge.
No, but data is a challenge.
Okay.
And it is one thing that we must fix.
Okay.
And it is one thing that we have been talking about. But the thing about farm data, farmers data, they say every day somebody is becoming a farmer. And every day somebody is moving out of the farm.
Taking that record?
You see, every day somebody is moving out.
Okay.
And somebody must take that record.
Okay.
And I have insisted and made this argument time with our number. So look, there must be proper, easy access to register data on the ground.
Okay.
But you see, collecting data, they are not being employed in the first place. Extension officers.
Yeah.
Now you go to the agro districts and you have one extension officer looking at a whole district, one extension officer. How can he attend to the farmers? You understand?
Yeah.
It's, the collection of farmers' data would even be easier with extension officers because extension officers,
okay.
Those days when the extension services department was very functional, it is very easy to go to any district and they would I collected data for my PhD. Me call Nandom.
Okay.
Say me collected data. Extension officers are no more. In fact, they didn't even have an extension officer. I'm telling you. And so the district department said, oh, they have some farmers that they've been dealing with. And so they would find a way to call them so that I can engage them.
Okay.
Then they were able to call about 20 farmers. You understand? Then I met them and engaged them. But there are so many farmers in Nandom who grow crops at various capacities. But they don't have the data. They don't have the information. They don't even have an extension officer who will know all their sites and can take you to their sites. You understand? And it cuts across everywhere. Everywhere. It's, the fundamental issue is that if you want to get the data,
okay,
I go see, all you need to do is to make sure that you employ the district agric officers and the extension officers in their various jurisdictions to be able to do the assessment for you and tell you that Akwesi Insia would 10 acres of land. Okay. Kofi Boamah or 5 acres of land. It's in when you pick that data, when you say Akwesi Insia 10 acres or not, they do a bro. Yeah. Kofi Boamah they know the do soya bean. Okay. So you have an idea of the kind of crops and the size and the productivity levels, and you can use it to plan. But I know because the extension systems have collapsed, the staff of the district agric departments, in fact, most of them are understaffed. It would follow any one day move from Mike, Namun call a Crebias, DC, office. Namun Buzas, agric department, no way. Namun Cohio. Dr.
Boamah Otokunor, I did Waka was some years. Some of the taxes in Badwam Mpensenpensenmu free, especially on Greg, said the beer from which me. But if Boamah take office 7th January 2025, I did be the name IMF. IMF, dear, no, she be. Taxes are always a CA in your taxes are a feeding into IMF, she ya, dear one for Kobo. Boamah buy better to me relaxes some of these taxes vis-a-vis IMF program a day anymore. Yes, I say.
Yo, I wouldn't want to spend time on IMF, and only an economic decision. And those ones are if but I can explain how we go about that. Okay. IMF ain't mean today say ain't mean scrap tax way and ASEAN scrap tax way. Okay. Yeah, the SAD proposals call IMF for say because of this agreement on the tax way, you share the problem over into year free one year free wa ye be fa sa kwan we so ne dey raise revenue. Okay. And no crab Boamah revenue na kosoro chance. But I don't want us to spend more time there. The key thing is say aban betimi amakuani no ahehan no. Na kuani no so adwuma a wo ye no obenya so mfa so. That's the most important thing.
Time na mo wapo na mo check cocoa fertilizer de ma akuafo no. Menim say what is accusation be. Sane say fertilizer kora ho odin. Ewi eche ne gugu mo party mpanifo dem. Ya na cocoa
o man to be da enya no kra. Enya no kra. MB before na be sa ade no. Free fertilizer ye de ba ye nyina wo mo ba yo wo betwigu wo mo dem. E ma eko wi ase no. Ade a actual not for sale.
Ye ton.
I aspire we ne de aba ne ye ton. Ebi ensi down the NDC. Say NDC ni sa amre ya Boamah president. Na free fertilizer no obi a ho de agu ni dem or NDC. No. In fact, the reason why we even lost 2016 was that our party people were angry. Say I'm for fertilizer no. Mom, ya for party kwa so. Yes, ye free fertilizer. Ya ni ye cheno pere kwa so. Inti no pere kwa so mo enye bi nti de bi de bufuo.
And a 2 about it.
Yes.
Someone check fertilizer and farm.
Yes.
Cocoa sector to say.
You understand? It's another major CC and cocoa sector and Atitia Pansem and then cocoa board. Etimika say what percent will use Ghana loan now only to cocoa because I know never boa. Dabe no moons adiano.
Ose afenwo.
Wa kwa bontia me apamono. Baby oko jisika no wa kwa amasisi ano okokra yembie do ne ma no. Because Sikano we didn't find investments. How? One find share cocoa adwuma. I'm a Sikano because of mismanagement nintino. Untimin almost 13 billion Ghana cedi of cocoa loans. Yentimin so we did domestic debt exchange. Almost 7 billion Ghana cedi of Ghana ye sika ye de amanfo sika o mabọ besia ye de aye cocoa we ma reschedule to next 10 years 7 billion Ghana cedi
for cocoa board.
For cocoa board. It's even the decision to play in our market here. They will not even get the money.
Omunya.
One of the sika amount. One more kakra na oje wahane krano. Why domestic debt exchange? Odi a 10 years, 7 billion worth.
Okay, this time a metric tons number for more. Say 2024-25, so more 650,000 metric tons.
About for man na kosoro. Agizia. Cocoa board is one of the most valuable assets of the country. Mamino unko true data kakra. When you said 2018, cocoa board contributed $3.2 billion to Ghana's economy.
Yeah. When
you said that was 2018. Oh.
Okay.
When you said 2017, cocoa board and our cocoa contributed $2.8 billion to Ghana's economy.
Okay.
Fast forward. Free 2022, one more contributee $256 million, $256 million. Yeah. Free $2.8 billion, one baby drew. Last year, it was just around $200 million to Ghana's economy. Cocoa na Ghana akuma. Enu ne kra Ghana sikasem. It me ma $3.2 billion no, and $200 million. Why? Because of lack of investment in the sector. When we say we have cocoa rehabilitation,
yeah.
When you say we man for chomu cocoa guye, so we brought seedlings. Basi na seedlings ni intimi nko. Wamu intimi nya seedlings no. Yesi ye mo cocoa rehabilitation alleviation. 500 Ghana cedi. Se busumi yo se busumi miensa biyo. Basi ne.
500 cedis.
500 Ghana. 500 Ghana.
Per tree.
Debbie. Petri di any as we did. Your mouth, so what you it's in your mouth 500 Ghana now they are so to so
500
and no crap on and
500 Ghana.
I'm telling you
for the whole farm.
I'm telling you. And no crying
Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor.
So cocoa forward sales I don't know the article be meaning so kind. Cocoa forward sales. Yeah, the sales no ultimate say next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Me ton mi cocoa a menye nyina enti mami husika na me fa nkoye adwuma
say na mo de kwaji syndicated no
and no po no mo de syndicated loan no syndicated loan de akwaji ska na abeto cocoa no akoton no akotuaka you understand but we no wo cocoa na wo to no wakoton wa ma obi
okay
and waji sika no
wa peg price
wa then yes wa account wa peg price it no next 4 years, my ton cocoa nyina at the price of $3,000 per ton.
Okay.
What you say? It the price in this sound answer so $3,000 per ton. And I'm a ton.
Okay.
When him say abey best 3-4 years ago, and I'm call okay or mine no forward sales mo I think $3,200. And then me know say cocoa bottle back. In fact, as at last 2 months, 1 ton. $6,800. It you lose half of the value of the cocoa that we are selling.
How many forces for how many years?
I think it will end in about 3 years or 4 years.
3 years starting from.
And no omo kase cocoa no omo obligation no afi na be form no omo de almost 300 metric tons last year there no almost 300 metric tons as a next year.
Okay.
It no mo an kase omo supply omo no we supply no be falling short of 300,000 metric tons. IS almost the corners here. And so what it means in say South West sales no my no 6,800 spot price on the market right now we are not getting that money. It is 3,200 na nti no ho sika na editua. And now a cocoa exchange international cocoa exchange IC here. The forward sales price $9,600 and
but a year a year ago.
In fact, more.
Okay.
It's even all year forward sales. Now we're in 2 years. You can benefit from the price changes. Cocoa is doing well on the market, but you are getting small because of lack of planning, and because of ABI being interested, odi akoye sa agreement yi e na waji scan wa bedi wanu e na mfaso mbaso e na kuafo obre rehabilitation wo mo ya seedlings and NDC 2015 kwa ye che 20 million seedlings of cocoa
2015
yes 20 million seedlings of cocoa and wo mo dua seedlings no say no so your business wo mo ye cocoa seedlings no nim wo mo ye cocoa seedlings ne kra no wo mo kra polo wo mo ntimi nya sa business ni biem they can't do it because cocoa board will not even get the money to go and buy. You understand? You know, the mismanagement of the cocoa sector, Akwesi, is one of the biggest problems of the economy. And then IMF MI 3 billion over 5 years.
Yeah.
But cocoa over 3
years.
Over 3 years. Over 3 years, no problem. Over 3 years. Yes, 600. Debbie, 5 years. 5 years, 600 million a year. Yes, 5 years, 600 million a year.
Doctor,
3 billion cocoa. Bema 1 year.
Okay, but as Mamma way embrace na. Mamma Minya embrace na afiyebra beto so Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor spokesperson on agriculture the NDC manifesto your launch here will win it in a central region. Yebani and Dr. Babeto as was Zebraso. Sabo is benya kakra go motom. Game park. Ebreni. Twebi nidi pache. Yeba ise. Yeah, who say ye where we name paba. Said be a mekato say we are 12 near number 6. There will be another draw. Yeah, so bet me akoso. We need to go so the chat. Na game park do be otwebiano. It's me. We'll be back to the studio on a hot seat here. Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor. You're a spokesperson on agri sector. The NDC manifesto for 2024. Quick one. I'm for messages here. By and go through now for Yemetua and Komodieno and soon. We say now NDC believe in free policies. I was here aside what Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor is saying about a free fertilizer, free day, free day. I also heard them saying that they are going to give free primary health care, free tertiary for first students. These people in the NDC were against free SHS when it was introduced by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Philip Echampong, Edward Free Kumasi at Tonsu Station, and our day Ebai. We say, good morning. Whatever Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor is saying about the cocoa board concern the rehabilitation program is not true. Akwesi, you can find out. Dako, Emmanuel, and anyway, Ebai. NDC talk about food. Why? No proper development for the country. Taking people to land from Accra to Burkina won't solve the problem. Stay longer in background and prepare yourself well before you can come back to government. No idea for government, for Ghana. Opoko Richard ya onso edibaye enonom. That is my boss, Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor. Wisdom at 8 high level. George Dako enso die enonom. NDC has nothing for we Ghanaians. Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is our next president. Nanaba Kwesi Kwe edie enonom. We see Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor, more fire. We love you. Thank you for pouring out wisdom for Ghana. Ohima Jemfua Amunu from Kumasi, Santase. Akwasisia, former President John Dramani Mahama is promising all good deeds for Ghanaians. But I want to ask him, where are the 10 colleges of education he promised? Where are the teachers' affordable housing? You claim that the Ghana economy is broke currently, but you are promising free. Which economy will support these free things? You slash teacher salaries for 3 years to 3 months. So how can you be trusted? David Techi Mansin, anyway, and so bye. Na kwabena ya bua Steve, you message the tifache minya de metimi akani. Was him. After listening and reading NDC manifesto, I'm only asking former President John Dramani Mahama what he made us understand sometimes back that made people believe in as a reality because he was a president. Let's be an intellectual and focus on what our aspirations as citizens of a state, so we can put our leaders to a strict proof. What was not possible for GM at the time that he was saying that we have chewed the meat, remained the bones, which made him cancel a lot of policies when he was president. Today, why is he calling to continue after someone has reintroduced those policies? If he had any vision or ideas to build, he would have cancelled it. You can't eat your cake and have it. Kwabena Yabua Stephen, and so they are also a day. By and doctor, so still on cocoa board.
Yo, it's no
dear na NDC bomb be different at cocoa board. Ama ne mu free say aye losses for mine. E bit me against e dey am.
Na nka mpese me no wie baby a cocoa board mpempenso na dru. Na yahwe kwan a ye be fixe every honomo because sisia no cocoa no production no akofom afi semi ha mani nka almost target 600,000 metric tons
650,000
and shekra 350,000 omunya last year even your mo announce so omunya be say 450,000 said then crap na ndru and now say cocoa no ye wo mimienu ye wo light crop season de no na ni aka no na light crop season de no so na ye mpamfo a yakɔgye omusika no so omompe enti da nuti ne yenya sa shortage no but what cocoa board esa omu yesisi a afi eye niema mienu okay cocoa season we sika wo mode beto cocoa no because cocoa ni endorse no nti no e bia enkoye bigger stress for them they can buy the cocoa but as a matter of urgency safi say oma nye investments in producing cocoa seedlings enough to complete the rehabilitation project. Cocoa no, in the next 2-3 years, ya shakra 100,000 yenya. This is the plan of President Mahama. Apart from the production of cocoa seedlings aggressively in 2025,
okay,
to be distributed to all the farmers, no, yeah, say a free fertilizer no for cocoa farmers in Asaba. Yes, free fertilizer.
100% free.
100% free.
Yeah, nature
for cocoa farmers.
For no direct.
100% free. Yes, Adiaba. Yeah, and you buy some and you 1 million metric tons. In your 1 million, in your 1 million, in your 900,000, but you free on 966,000 metric tons. And ye jama in yanum. And then you be ye. In fact, ye jama mo crown because of the investment in it. Uze cocoa ye plant bi and tomato audia 3 months no when you so fast so it investment bi obe cocoa mo no it takes time to yield. It's in most of the investments I no 2017 2018 no mote ho de
to make me say be back to the 1 million.
Yes, I dey on mine come back to that 1 million and we are looking at it
possible.
Oh yes,
just
we can even do 2 million. Our capacity in Ghana, you bet me 2 million metric tons. Me say, you bet me 2 million metric tons. Unim say, oh, you know, you do cocoa. You to go to her. See, you to go to her. Some middle belt in na Oti region is a cocoa belt. And unti and a maybe a chemu time I had to cocoa in the cocoa board office. Oh, very good. But we have left all those places. And why is it so? All the southern belts now, near cocoa and then you struggle because of the trees we are cutting and the mining and all that. The climate for cocoa production in the southern belt is dwindling. We have to refocus the production of cocoa into other areas are still climate okay for cocoa production. And then China, they produce cocoa on a high scale. And then said you met nanka Ghana ye palm trees nanka Ghana ye da number 1 Singapore for be free as see we are the largest palm oil producers in the world omuduase obia as part of your policies no ye say cocoa no you may invest aggressively in the seedling production, refocus production in certain areas via yejato baby omoye mine na womo asay asase no we see how to recover the land so that we can improve the conditions of the land ni entimi emfandia cocoa at least to some extent ni providing agrochemicals cocoa spraying exercise you see ano egu
sure
cocoa spray no and cost na say we do kra my camera akwesi wo camera
it one dey spray cocoa
akwesi wo camera
one dey spray cocoa
and am say wo camera
egu one dey spray cocoa
wo camera utimi emuvu ko
Dr. Peter Boamah
Otokunor cocoa farmer
it one dey spray cocoa dey spray cocoa
na say the way almost spray no nya sa na almost spray sisi a wo benya sisi akra onye MPP ni kra point be spray farmer I'm telling you on authority
Say cocoa sprainers are limited to only MPP
I am
cocoa
telling
farmers.
you on authority because there's limited resources. You see, I no crap on your bar. You show any money spray amount. And so there's a challenge. Swollen shoot disease.
Is it possible?
Massa, and then think swollen shoot disease.
I buy you a bibo. I buy more cocoa beans. No, and say to me, I can do the flammon on it. Ain't the MPP for send a year cocoa or main more. Omunku cocoa bet me a mess out of one.
Where the edges of Kobusa a Kufuado.
It's the money yam one say it's not possible say ye spray MPP cocoa.
Now, by way, Omunia Mommy and young one. Omunia Mommy and young one.
Sad no cost of my pencil.
Oh, I mean, how? Result now, Ghana. What you say, Sadi and cause where happens. And I've explained to you. And that is what is happening now. Cocoa spraying exercise is not there. So, what we have to do, and they say, as ye boa, equiafono, swollen shoot disease na abana against someone. And no counting as no, your production, yield no, form. So, we must cure that swollen shoot disease. But, oh, dear, enough of the cocoa. Okay. Cocoa in Tunche. President Mahama, as part of your agri policy, say, ye share ye duan in some yina, ni ye queer on some yina. Ne cassia pa, eye a choir, a queer for, Wamudia, the any no mummy or money crown, mutrano bayana, Wamubatono, and as a baby or Modebeko. Etino, President Mahama, I say, yem building farmer services centers, yes, I deal with you, pound. Farmer services centers in all the agro zones. Now, when you farmer services center, the Babe. Farmer services center, no, a center, provide all the agro inputs for you. Etino, so you can o asase, o petrata, amana bedo asase na mawa. O call farmer services center na, ye the trata no, abedo asase ama.
Okay.
Unisika, no problem. A buono ye 100 Ghana cedis. You see a trata. Edo farmer 450 Ghana cedis.
Maybe a 350.
Maybe a 350. Maybe in fact a farm place here 400.
Okay.
You understand? Aha. This year me farm be a mayor or me coffee be 400.
I think a giraffe baba soon see around by 300.
Maybe see 300. Et you know, sa 300 Ghana na esa wo de ye sa plowing or pay can.
Okay.
Farmer services center na ba be plow wasase na ma.
Okay.
O me ye adwuma ni nyina ma. Ya bobo na to ho. Akwesinsia o farm yi wo de ka 300 Ghana.
Okay.
Edem biem na oyin de adua enobaye no. Unya seedlings.
Okay.
And also unya seeds. Ebia maize seeds, soya bean seeds. Ne amount 1 kilo 50 Ghana. Inti amount 10 kilos 500 Ghana. Ye de aka 300 no ho. Okay, dem biem na unya condemn. Unya other agrochemicals. Yama sa agrochemicals no wo de akọ edo etu do bibie wie na utwa no bae na wo do no bae na ba sa farmer services center ho sa farmer services center ho would have warehouse systems yenuanmo ye now so warehouse receipt system in 2015 wo bae no omo so so oma yes our warehouse receipt system ti no omo si warehouse me no ka say warehouse no me nya so say 5 kura oma wie 8 years ni me nim so oma wie 5 a me obi a me kan kire me say oma wie bi ba ma tese omo so omo ye warehouse.
Okay.
Sa warehouse no ye besi wo farmer services center o say de be ya wutwa waburu a wo de ba na yaje egu warehouse o ne ya ma o receipt say o wo de eburo 1 ton.
Okay.
And e ba ye na 1 ton na ye value.
Yeah.
It in 1 ton value na bia ebro no 1 ton ni nyina ye mfa ne say
10,000.
It means 10,000.
Okay.
It no wo de where you no call ye no 1 ton agi receipt no.
Yeah.
Na input na ye de ma oni nyina mechanization ni chemicals ni nyina no e ka wo boy nyina ye 1,000 Ghana.
Okay.
It no agi receipt na wo de call exchange commodity exchange.
Okay.
Yes start can once ye nuanom so maye enso ye hu de we exchange no baby exchange no koso
The Ghana Commodity Exchange.
commodity me hu baby exchange no koso. But our intention is that South Farmer Services Center no become one-stop shop for every farming activity. It is a oju receipt na say 10,000 Ghana cedi a hono mo na at the exchange. Okay. You can use it to exchange for money.
Okay.
But what you
but say sika na mo de ma me for plow any seats ni ene ma interest that's one.
Oh, no you do on man you be hwe. But you do, I mean when we get there we start implementation.
Farmer na wo 10%.
And then so tia interest etoso.
It farmer person what tia
say. No, but added so tia interest be this so.
Interest ni so.
Enye loan na oje. It added say interest etoso.
Why sika ni
enye loan e ya buy and ma o say sika no. But who tia back without interest.
It is interest free.
Interest free enye loan.
And also enye grant.
Me a finance person. Inti na me mpese me yi wa no. So o ka say interest not just capitalize sika no e de ama no. A loan and now the man credit now the man.
It is interest free loan.
Your grant and your loan.
It's way there.
It's way no wow as a subsidy, but you are going to pay the same amount without interest.
Okay. It's a balance spend 1,000 cedis. Me name am beba no mo betin 1,000 cedis.
Yeah, 2,000 cedis na dey aka or your profit. It's your own moji receipt. Work all the onion na kogu ho. Wo dey why open say obeton kra, we will store for you.
Okay.
What you say?
Okay.
If you don't want to sell your commodity, it will be stored for you. When you sell 1 ton or honum. Any time that you want to sell, you can go to the exchange and exchange it because can we say price and also no fluctuate.
Okay.
It no say na madam no buy any way. Me boka 1,000 but me dey abegu on mo 10,000 me nye ready say beton a oban ni won ni problem we ye ready say beton na be a time na beton na 120 12,000 Ghana cedi nye 10,000 bm 12,000 Ghana cedi na che say waje we sika 10,000.
Dr. Peter Boamah Otokunor kasama for edema and this manifesto of agriculture am tise no pay ye no etwetwe enko e da so oje bre na so timi e kan o message so buy ye ken kan mo chena enso ye da for from dey akwasisia bakra